Good evening. Welcome to the October 22nd, 2018 Board of Trustees meeting. Before tonight's meeting commences, I'd like to ask everybody to please stand for a moment of silence, remembering all the brave men and women who have protected this great nation of ours. Followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Officer Colonel Spot, you take the lead us in the pledge, please. Yes, sir. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. First up, roll call again.
Barbat. Here. Burns. Here. Camilleri. Here. Frasca.
Here.
Joliet. Here. Thomas. Here. Wall.
Here. Under announcements, join us at the library for Lego Club on Saturday, October 27, 2018. There will be two sessions, 10:15 a.m. and 11:30 a.m., ages 3 and up. Students meet one Saturday a month to create their own Lego structures, and their creations will be on display in the library until the next meeting. No registration is required. Waterford Township will hold its 2019 annual budget meetings on Monday, October 29th and Tuesday, October 23rd from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. These meetings are open to the public. Teens join us Teen Movie Night at Waterford Library for Poltergeist, Tuesday, October 30th, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Get into the spirit of Halloween with this scary movie from 1982. In this movie, a family discovers their house is haunted by ghosts. Feel free to bring a basket and a blanket and pillow if you want to stretch out on the floor. We'll provide refreshments, no registration required. Parents, check out thecommonsensemedia.org to determine if the movies are suitable for your teen. Suggested trick-or-treat hours here in Waterford Township on Wednesday, October 31st are from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Some neighborhoods will choose to extend the time by leaving porch lights on as an indication they are still distributing treats. Here are a few tips to help our community stay safe for this Halloween. Motorists, please exercise extreme caution on this evening. Obey posted speed limits, avoid distractions while driving, and watch for pedestrian traffic. Allow extra time to travel as rush hour traffic is usually heavier on this day. Trick-or-treaters, please look both ways before entering a roadway, utilize reflective items on dark clothing, and please carry a flashlight. Go out in groups and or with an adult chaperone. Waterford Police Department will scan candy here at the Waterford Police Station, 5150 Civic Center Drive from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Join us on the following dates from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Waterford Rec Center on Williams Lake Road for the Parks and Recreation's delicious spaghetti dinners. Friday, November 2nd and Friday, December 7th. The buffet-style dinner includes spaghetti, tossed salad or coleslaw, breadsticks, coffee, water or tea, and homemade desserts, which are $1 a piece extra. Cash at the door, 12 years or older, $8, 4 to 11, $4, under 3, free. If you've never been to the spaghetti dinners there, now is the time to go because the food's phenomenal, and I do have a waistline to attest just to how good it is. So go, enjoy it, and help support the Golden Age Club. Due to the February 2018 precinct consolidations, please verify your polling location before the November 6, 2018 general election. You can go online at www.michigan.gov/vote to verify where you're supposed to be voting. The state general election will be held here in the Charter Township of Waterford, the County of Oakland, in the state of Michigan on Tuesday, November 6, 2018 from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Voters wishing to obtain an absentee ballot may do so by contacting the Township Clerk's office. The clerk or their designee will be available in the clerk's office Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. In addition, the clerk's office will be open on the Saturday preceding the election, November 3rd, 2018, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The deadline for requesting the absentee ballot, which will be mailed. For sample ballots and full text proposals or any other information, please contact the Charter Township of Waterford's clerk's office at 248-674-6266 or visit www.waterfordmi.gov. Tickets are on sale now for the Waterford Area Chamber of Commerce's annual Women Rocks event this Thursday. And it's not this Thursday, but it's on Thursday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Enjoy inspiring speakers, shopping with dozens of vendors, a fashion show, lunch, networking, and valuable time with other women in business. For tickets or more information, visit www.waterfordchamber.org. And I'm just kind of curious, the fact that's opening day of firearms deer season, any common denominator here or not? No? Okay. I'm imagining it here. Attentions all snowbirds. Please contact the Waterford Township Assessing Department with your forwarding address if you are leaving town for the winter. You may have your mail forwarded by the U.S. Postal Service. Property tax bills and assessment notices do not get forwarded and will be returned to the township. Please call 248-674-6270 and let us know your winter address so we can get your tax bills and assessments mailed to you accordingly. The Charter Township of Waterford is looking for community-minded people to serve on various township boards. Board members are required to attend approximately 1 to 2 meetings a month. If you are interested in serving your community, please contact the supervisor's office via email or call 248-674-6201. This coming Thursday, October 25th, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Shark Club, on M59 across from the airport, is the annual Elf Magic fundraiser for the Holiday Extravaganza Parade. That parade is put on by 4 communities every year, and it's always the first Saturday in December this year, which will be December 1st. It's Auburn Hills, Pontiac, Waterford, and White Lake. Waterford has the privilege of being able to host this event for the first time ever. So if you're a Waterford resident, there are some tickets left. You can buy them at the door. They're $35 a piece, 2 for $60, or a table of 8 for $300. But they're looking to have 8 tables of 30 people, and we're over 200 people right now. So if you're interested, again, it's this Thursday from 5 to 9, and it's like I said, it's a fundraiser. And if you've never attended that parade, it's downtown Pontiac, again, the first Saturday. And you want to talk about seeing big-eyed kids for the first time with the Christmas spirit. And I got to brag a little bit because Santa comes into the Oakland International Airport right here in Waterford Township. Him and Mrs. Claus are escorted to Telegraph Road by Waterford Police Department. And they're intercepted by the Oakland County Sheriff's Department and escorted the rest of the way in. And for the first time in the year, the kids get to see Santa Claus. And it just, heck, I still get excited about it. You can only imagine how the kids feel. So again, it's a fun event. So if you have the opportunity, again, it's 10 a.m. on December 1st, downtown Pontiac. So take time to go to that. But in the meantime, show up a fundraiser on Thursday night at the Shark Club. Under awards and presentation. Must be wanting to get out of here. We got a back up here from the clerk told me. We need to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? There are none. Okay, back to the basics again. Other awards and presentations. I'm going to skip over the first one. Up next is the Waterford Police Department's Life-Saving Awards. Officers Mike Zarza, Jeff Lemons, Edward Talia, and Dan Himmelspot. Underwood, it's all yours. Thank you.
like to thank the board for the time tonight during the meeting to publicly recognize these officers. Anytime we get an opportunity to publicly recognize our officers that have gone above and beyond, that's a good day, and we want to take every opportunity to do so. So with that, Officer Jeff Clemens, would you step forward, please? On May 14, 2018, Officer Clemens was dispatched to a local business to check for a suspicious vehicle. Officer Clemens arrived and spoke with the occupants whose vehicle had initially overheated, but now had a flat tire as well. Officer Clemens stood by as the occupants worked together to change the tire. As they worked, the jack being used to hold the vehicle up failed, and the vehicle fell on one of the occupants. The trapped subject was being crushed and couldn't breathe. Officer Clemens quickly replaced the jack and was also able to lift the vehicle enough so that the subject could breathe until help could arrive. Waterford Regional Fire arrived and used the jaws of life to further lift the vehicle. That person was transported to the hospital and ultimately made a complete recovery thanks to the actions of Officer Clemens. The Waterford Police Department Awards Board tonight recognizes Officer Jeff Clemens and bestows the life-saving award. Congratulations.
I didn't prepare a speech, but I want to thank my family for being here, my wife, my 2 kids. I want to thank the guys I work with. Without them as a team, we wouldn't make this possible. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Officer Dan Himmelspah, please step forward. On April 16, 2018, Waterford officers were pursuing 2 larceny suspects across a golf course on foot when one of the pursuing officers fell into a trench on a property that was flooded with water. When the officer initially entered the trench, the water was waist deep and ice cold with air temperatures below freezing. Due to the muck under the water, the officer could not free himself and sank deeper into the water. Officer Himmelspah heard the officer fall and ran to provide assistance, arriving as the water reached the trapped officer's chin. Officer Himmelspah was able to pull the trapped officer to safety before he sank further underwater, potentially saving him from drowning. Tonight, the Waterford Police Department Awards Board recognizes and bestows a life-saving award upon Officer Dan Himmelspah.
How long does this meeting go for? Because I got a lot to say. I'd like to thank my wife of 20 years for putting up with me, and all the heroes in the background that I hang around with from the fire department. I love you guys. And my dad for raising me to be a man. Thank you.
Officer Mike Zorza and Edward Talia, please step forward. On April 30th, 2018, Officers Zorza and Talia were dispatched to assist Waterford Regional Fire with a victim that had lacerated his leg with a chainsaw while tree trimming. Arriving prior to the Waterford Regional Fire Department, Officers Zorza and Talia observed the injury to be life-threatening and applied a tourniquet. As a direct result of their actions, the victim was transported to a local hospital alive and did make a full recovery. Tonight, the Waterford Police Department Awards Board recognizes Officer Michael Zorza and Edward Talia and bestows upon them the award of life saving.
I want to thank my trainer. I was actually in shadow phase when this happened. My wife, all the guys that I work with. I want to thank the Waterford Police Department for training me so well. That's all I have, I guess.
Just want to thank everybody for coming for this particular portion of the meeting. Our dispatchers and police officers, our support staff do a phenomenal job every day. And like I said, when these guys do things that deserve to be recognized publicly, we absolutely want to do so. We're proud to recognize them, as we know that their friends and family are proud to recognize them as well. So thank you to all of you.
Chief Underwood, I don't want you to write Officer Zorza up or anything, but I think he needs to bring the dog into the meetings when he's being recognized. And just, I mean, a dog's a dog, you understand? That dog hasn't been a stranger yet either, so that's good. Okay. Again, we are fortunate to have the police and fire departments that we have here in Waterford, our first responders. We are blessed, and gentlemen, you are true heroes, every one of you. Next, under awards and presentations, we got the 51st District Court Drug Treatment Program.
Well, that certainly is a tough act to follow, though. Certainly, right, for showing up late. I apologize for my daughter's basketball game. My name is Jennifer Tom. I'm the court administrator at the 51st District Court. I'm here tonight to just share with the board that we were again awarded a total of $123,000 in Michigan Drug Treatment Court grant funding for sobriety and veterans treatment court programs. We were awarded $83,000 for a sobriety court program, $18,000 of which will be used for medication-assisted treatments to help fund folks who are addicted to opiates. And then the remainder of the grant funding, the $40,000, would be used for our Veterans Treatment Court program, which we use to help sponsor the part-time Veterans Treatment Court Program Coordinator position. I just want to give kudos to one of our unsung heroes, Angie Reed. She's our Chief Probation Officer, and she prepared both of the grants that were submitted this year. Any questions? I will. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
I just want to be sure the residents in Waterford get it, that we do as much as we do for the residents because of these grants. There's so many things that we have that we wouldn't be able to have without the grant money that your staff, the fire department staff, the police department staff, all work to pull this money in to help Waterford. It's good work.
Very true.
Did they win their basketball game? Did they win their basketball game?
Did they win? No.
No?
She played really well.
You gotta beat her to win or lose, so way to go. Okay, next, under consent agenda, is there anything anybody would like removed from the agenda prior to me reading it off? Okay, October 9th, 2018 meeting minutes. Today, October 22nd, 2018 bill payment. Received the DPW's September 2018 report. 51st District Court's 2018 third quarter report. IT Department's September 2018 report. Parks and Recreation's July, August, and September 2018 reports. Police Department's 2018 third quarter reports. Treasurer's Office September 2018 report.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
Any further discussion on this? Okay, so with the roll call.
Fresca.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Camilleri. Yes. Wall.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes. Okay, next up we have the board liaison reports. And Tony, let's start with you.
Waterford Youth Assistants having their annual luncheon this Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. at Open Time. Oakland County's annual meeting is November 30th at 7:15 a.m. at the Village Club in Township. And at our next youth assistant meeting, December 5th, I guess she would be voter supervisor for Oakland County Youth Assistants, Mary Schuster. That's what her name. She'll be our speaker there at that 5:30 at CAI. That's all I got.
Steve.
Cable Commission, nothing to report.
Margaret?
Nothing to report.
Because of the 28-degree weather we had last year, 2018 gardening season's officially over. Thank you, Mother Nature.
The library's working on the 2019 poetry leaves program, and we've changed it up quite a bit this year. It's going to be a lot of video and digital, social media, so kind of watch for that. It's going to be fun. And we still will have a few poems hanging in the trees, not too traditional.
KG.
Nothing to report.
Art.
The Hess Hathaway Park Committee meeting was held on October 11th. The meeting was held at the Hess Hathaway Community Building in the park. One of the things we did was we'd like to make mention and thank the folks who came out to the Harvest Happening Festival and the Funtober event held at the park earlier this month. The park had a very successful year growing, harvesting, and baling over 365 bales of hay. Thanks to some skilled volunteers who were able to use the park's machines in order to accomplish that. The machines are old and required a lot of special care. We also recognized 2 Boy Scouts regarding their Eagle Scout projects. Scout Brian Roberts completed a renovation of the floor in the bathroom in the historic house, and Scout Evan Makovich went over a goat structure he is going to build for the park's goats. The Township has many parks and would like to encourage any Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts in need of Eagle Scout or Gold Award projects to get in touch with the Parks and Rec Department. Thanks.
Okay. Next up under old business, Township Cemetery Ordinance Amendment 2018-002.
I'll make a motion for the adoption of the Township Cemetery Ordinance Amendment 2018-002.
Support.
Any further discussion on this? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Birch. Yes. Camilleri. Yes. Bartlett.
Yes.
Fresca.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Okay, we have the Township Massage Establishment Ordinance Amendment 2018-003.
I'll make a motion to adopt the Township Massage Establishment Ordinance Amendment 2018-003.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Thomas.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Fresca.
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Okay, under new business, consider township attorney disclosure of potential of interest regarding West Oakland Transportation Authority.
Good evening. This is on your agenda. The board did not have any written information. Over the last, I would say, half a year, I believe Waterford's been in discussions with Highland Township. Those are 2 entities that are clients of my law firm, and many other communities in North and West Oakland County. And the concept is to form a transportation authority. Several weeks ago, I was provided a draft of an agreement that is to be discussed amongst attorneys and a business plan. Having looked at those documents, I felt I was obligated to disclose to Waterford and to Highland what I would characterize as a potential conflict. It deals with the financial end of this concept, and this is a fledgling concept, so it's not determined how it's going to look in the final picture, if at all. But Highland Township, my client, has an active transportation program, and under the concept being explored, they would, and their personnel, would become employees of a transportation authority, a separate legal entity to be created. And that would presumably be of some financial benefit to Highland Township. If Waterford were to participate, there would be some expense to Waterford. So that's point number one I wanted to disclose. The second part, and again, this is very preliminary, but it would be a matter of the funding of this program. What I saw as a concept plan involved each community that ended up being a participant having their financial obligation based on ridership and based on population. Well, of course, Waterford would be the most populous of all the entities. I don't see a conflict in representing Waterford and Highland in working on legal documents to create an authority and eventually bring something to the board. But what I would be unable to do within my ethics would be to have any expectations by Waterford or Highland that I would be advocating or negotiating any of the financial ends of the deal. So if you are comfortable with me representing you in Highland in that context, it's called dual representation. I'm comfortable doing it, but the board would have to consent. So, you can answer any questions you like. If you have none and are inclined to give the consent, the motion would simply be to consent to Rossetti Johnson, still got to get this right, Rossetti, Schultz, Chapik, and Spugler, Gary O'Dovery, representing Waterford and Highland in connection with the proposed West Oakland Transportation Authority, provided that the attorneys are not involved in negotiating financial and other terms of the agreement where Highland and Waterford interests are in conflict.
So if we did go with that concept, who would do the financial negotiations?
It would be up to the township's respective representatives.
It wouldn't take anyone with a legal background necessarily.
No, I would view those as financial considerations that I would typically not get involved in. But
That also be for Highland too?
yes,
Okay.
and
So both of us would have to get somebody to negotiate that part.
or your representatives that are working on towards the authority can make their positions known. I made this same disclosure to the Highland Township Board last week, and they gave consent. You have no obligation to do that, though. What's bad is if I don't tell you and at the front end.
Does anybody else have any questions for Attorney Dover? I didn't get, in the meeting stuff, I had discussed this with Rick Hamill, supervisor for Highland Township, discussed potential for a conflict of interest, and like I said, Rick, I will be doing the negotiating, the financial, and along with his representative, and Allison Swanson from Waterford Township, so that part of it we're taking care of, so I don't see that as a potential conflict of interest in that regard either, so.
So I'll make a motion to consent to Rosati, Schultz, Javich, and
Spugler.
and Gary Dovery to representing both Highland and Waterford in the setting up of this authority, but not for the financial negotiations.
It works.
Okay, any further discussion on this? And that West Oakland Transportation Authority will be in short called WODA.
I'm I wasn't gonna say that.
Well, North Oakland County used to call it NODA, West Oakland County, we call it WODA.
We can change that.
Yeah, we can.
That'll be part of the negotiations.
We'll do it for printing only. When we announce it, we will call it the West Oakland Transportation Authority. Okay, so roll call vote.
Wall.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Camilleri. Yes. Frasca.
Yes.
Bartoletto.
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me, Supervisor Wall. The broadcast tonight, I see all of your beautiful faces, but there is no audio.
Okay.
I don't know if you can fix that right now or not.
I don't have the ability to do things electronically, no.
There's going to be typed in there.
Right, there is, but there's got to be a reason. So I'll you go check with her, so please. She told me everything was up and running and ready to go, so.
Okay.
She is aware of the problem. She's been trying to troubleshoot it at this end.
I'm sorry. She is aware of the problem. She is in there trying to troubleshoot it, but she's not sure where the problem lies. If it's in our equipment or if it's in the Comcast equipment. So it may not get fixed, but what is posted online tomorrow will have both video and audio, even if we're having trouble tonight. So if you want to hear what we're saying, you just have to log in tomorrow or read our lips. Or come. Good point, Sally.
Yes. Okay, up next is the 2018 delinquent water and sewer billings.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2018 delinquent water and sewer billings. These are people who've not paid their water bill, and it is put on the 2018 winter tax rolls.
Any further discussion?
I did call the superintendent of the water department to ask the amount being transferred to taxes is $2,230,175.94. That's roughly 10% of the people who are served by the Waterford Water Department. This is a fairly typical number. It gets put on their taxes with some fines and eventually gets paid.
He did confirm over the last 10 years that number varies very little. It goes up and down just a little bit, but it's usually right in the 10% area. So, consistency. Okay. Any further discussion on this? If this is a roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Frasca.
Yes.
Bartoletto. Joliet.
Yes.
Camilleri. Yes. Wall.
Yes. Next up, we have the AFG grant award to purchase fire hose. Deputy Chief Cuddy, how are you tonight?
Good evening, Supervisor Wall and Board. I'm here tonight to express some good news, I think. Chief Lyman was an amazing grant writer again and received a $56,100 grant to assist through firefighters, or known as AFG. We are in desperate need of some new hose, some new nozzles, and some new foam inductors. This grant's going to basically replace our entire fleet with all new equipment when it comes to the attack line, which is the smaller diameter hose we use for fighting house fires and car fires, and then also some larger nozzles that were needed for when you have a larger fire, bigger area requires more water flow. This thing is really loud. Again, it's a phenomenal opportunity. The township only has a 10% fee, and if you look at it, the total cost of the project as of today is $52,307.55, and Waterford's match is only $4,755.23. Pretty good deal, I think. I'll
Sure
take that
is.
deal anytime someone wants to give that to me personally.
Yes, sir.
I've attached some pictures to show you just what those items are. To keep it simple, the hose is to supply water to fire. The nozzle helps us put the fire out, and the foam inductor is what inducts foam into our fire hose. That anytime we have a gasoline-based fire or a flammable liquid type fire, we need to suffocate the vapors that produce. Those foam inductors allow us to do that, and it just goes right in line with that attack hose that we have. and it draws the stuff out of a bucket, and it works phenomenal. Chief Nelson and myself spent a lot of time reviewing task force tips, the nozzles we're going to. They're a state-of-the-art company, and I think their product is by far the best that we can bring to the township. And we're getting a greater than government pricing on this. I have met with Dawn Cito and she agrees. I do have a memo in my office that I received from her saying that, but in my opinion, it's a no-brainer for us to be able to go to a single source vendor because of the government pricing.
Sure, it is. Good find.
And great job by Chief Lyman again. He's over 22 million, I think, roughly across the township. Pretty good number.
Is that all, John? Come on.
I'm still working on it.
Okay.
We're gonna have
Keep
some
it up.
magic
You're
next
really,
year.
really good at it. Really good, so. You know, 22 million in grants.
Pretty impressive.
That's, yeah. Okay, does anybody have any questions for Deputy Chief Cubby?
Spectacular work.
So does this require the motion to include a single source?
From what I understand through Dawn, it needs to go before the board for the single source because of the dollar amount. And then also before Supervisor Ball can sign that amount of money, it needs to be approved by the board, I believe.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the AFG grant award to purchase fire hose from a single source supplier.
I support.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes?
Frasca.
Yes.
Bartolota.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Camilleri. Yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your continued support.
Thank you.
Good job, John.
Okay, this brings us to the end of our regular agenda. Is there anybody from the public who would like to come before the board at this time?
Supervisor Wall, I just want to make a comment to the board. We were able to run what's called Fire Ops 101 at OCC 2 weeks ago. And we sent some invites out to everybody. Margaret Birch was one of the ones that said, I'll come. It's going to happen every year from now because it's such an amazing event. What happened is we were able to put her in fire gear throughout a 7-hour day and go from everything from fighting a fire to cutting a car up to running an EMS run. It was just phenomenal.
And the tools too.
And the tools. The idea behind this program that came through our Oakway and Mutual Aid partnership and the local unions is that most of the politicians never get the hands-on and understand and see what we do on a daily basis, besides the reports that we give to you here in front of the board. So the idea is to get board members out to understand the fire service. It's not a sales pitch, it's not a, this is what you need, this is why we gotta buy stuff, we didn't come here with a bunch of stuff that we need because of that. It's to show you what we truly do in a day so you can understand the complexity of the job. Because what's happening with the fire service, they continue to add more and more responsibility every day to us. The old saying is that if someone doesn't know what to do, we'll call the fire department, someone will know how to do it. And it continues to grow with responsibility. So Margaret was a phenomenal person to come out. She kept up with the best of them. Some of them couldn't finish the day, but Margaret, true and true, she finished it all. So I just wanted to thank her for coming out. Next year when you get your invite, hopefully there's a fight for the spot. So have a great day.
Thanks, man. Okay, is there anybody else in public? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, this is kind of loud. So, I was invited to that. when
Please
I was-
announce your name.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tom Berman, Oakland County Commissioner for the 5th District, which includes portions of Waterford. Thank you for having me this evening. You know, he just mentioned that, and when I was on Kiewel Harbor City Council, we were invited, and I unfortunately lost the fight to attend, and I have not been in attendance. And I know a few folks that were there this past session, and I know it's an incredible session, and I'm hopefully looking forward to getting out there sometime in the near future. I wanted to come by and provide a quick update with what we have going on at the county. But before I do that, I know the officers had to attend to business, but I just want to congratulate them for their remarkable service and life-saving efforts. I'm a member of the Public Services Committee, and our public safety is most important, and those are our everyday heroes, so I want to congratulate them. That was really nice to see. I also heard about a lot about a number of grants, and what an impressive number, $22 million to Waterford alone. And there are a lot of incredible grants and public-private partnerships that we have at the county and local municipalities, and it really makes a big difference in allowing us to continue to support a high level and quality of services. So that's an impressive number. I also heard in announcements earlier, you guys are looking for some volunteers for boards and commissions. I cannot encourage people enough to get out and participate and be involved, and it's a very rewarding experience. Even in a big community like Waterford, our efforts are driven, our community efforts are driven through volunteerism, and I hope people will get involved. That's sometimes be careful what you wish for. That's how I started in my community, and now I'm an elected official, so it's maybe sometimes a natural progression. Speaking of being an elected official, it's election season. I want to encourage people to get out and vote. I want people to be prepared for likely long lines. We saw unprecedented turnout during the primary. We have 3 ballot proposals on this ballot, and they are long, so prepare in advance and also be prepared for lines. Fortunately, we won't run out of ballots. Some of you folks may have heard about that, what happened in the primary. Based off of state statute, that will not happen here in the general election, but I do want to thank Sue, our clerk, for her input and feedback. I was nominated or appointed as the chairperson or co-chairperson of the ad hoc election infrastructure committee at the county, working with our county clerk as well as all the local municipalities and clerks to really investigate and into the ballot shortage issue that we had and some other issues I think that we have countywide with communication and training and other resources. And we were just able to submit a report to the full Board of Commissioners and introduce some resolutions that we're sending up to the State House and to the Secretary of State. And I think that that's some really strong recommendations and information that we were able to put together over in government what's probably pretty remarkable, a short period of time in less than 45 days. So again, thank you, Sue, for your input and feedback on that. Last but not least, I just want to say that it's been my honor and privilege to serve Waterford along with the other communities that are represented at the county level. We do a lot of great work at the county level. We just recently passed our budget, which is a three-year forward-facing outlook, which helps us continue to be a AAA bond-rated community or county and really a trailblazer in the United States. And communities like Waterford are able to leverage our credit, and we do a lot of things together so that we can again provide incredible resources to our residents and our businesses. And I pride myself on trying to bring a business perspective to the county, and part of that has been a newly formed Oakland County Economic Development Committee that I sit on, and I just hope that I can earn everybody's vote this November 6th to continue representing you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Is there anybody else? Okay. I need a motion for the closed session for possible discussion, confidential attorney-client privilege option regarding short-term rentals.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session to discuss confidential attorney-client privilege opinion regarding short-term rentals.
Support. Any further discussion?
Is Marinsky back there?
Oh, yes, and to include Mr. Minsky and Larry Lappin.
Our township engineer.
Thomas, or Steve, didn't you already?
I see you guys looking down here.
Okay, roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Bartola.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Frasca.
Yes.
Camilleri, yes. Okay, we're going into closed session at 6:46. When we come back, will we be voting on anything?
Probably not.
So, we'll come back only to adjourn the meeting.